Would you rather take a life or save a life? Did you know that in 2013, 10,228 people were killed from alcohol-impaired driving? This is about one person every 48 minutes and about 30 people per day. Around 85% of fatal crashes in the United States are caused by drunk drivers. Did you also know that 40% of the drivers involved in these accidents are between the ages of 21 and 24 years old? The thought of these statistics should scare you and also make you want to never get behind the wheel of any kind of motor vehicle while consuming alcohol. The movement to stop drinking driving will never end, but if I can convince at least a few people to stop drinking and driving while intoxicated, my goal will be achieved. On average, about 30% of all traffic-related deaths in the United States are because of drunk driving, and in those crashes, around 60% of the drivers had children in their car. This is insane. About 1.4 million drivers are arrested for driving under the influence, and around 1 million Americans will tell you that they don't care when they drink and drive, and they're unafraid of hurting others or even hurting themselves. Now imagine if you're one of the people behind the wheel, how would you feel? And imagine if your children were in the car when you got hit by a drunk driver. How would you handle that situation? It would be best to never drink and drive if you even have the slightest amount of alcohol in your system. The cost of the DWI is outrageous. For an adult on average from 21 to 24 years old with a first offense DWI, the average cost is a minimum of $45,000. This includes the cost of annual auto insurance, DUI classes, towing, fines and attorney fees, DMV reinstatement fees. This is outrageous. Wouldn't you rather have to spend fun with your family and spend the money on something incredible? I don't know anyone that would tell me that they would want to spend their money and blow $45,000 on something that they could have prevented. Not to mention that the probation time for your first offense DWI is 12 to 18 months with numerous hours of community service. The burden that a fatal drinking and driving crash, a DWI, or even a DUI can place upon a family is substantial. Having to bury a loved one who was in the crash of someone innocent can cause very angry people and can lead some people to depression. If you were the one that caused the crash, your family could disown you and be very embarrassed to be seen with you. It also causes strain on the people that are trying to help you pay for your accident, your DWI, your DUI. It causes hurt on everyone around you, not just yourself. You're being very selfish if you ever get behind the wheel under the influence. It causes pain on everyone, including yourself. Just don't do it. This girl is Mariah McCarthy. She died in a drunk driving accident. She was 14 years old, and she was among 3 other girls who were hit by a pickup truck just before midnight on a Saturday night. She was flown into St. Patrick's Hospital in Minnesota, where she died. She was walking on the path along Blackfield Line in Carolina with friends, 2 friends. They were all 14 years old when she was hit by a drunk driver, and he ran from the scene. Peterson, which was the guy who hit them, told his lawyer that the police looked at him and he told them that he was just turning up his stereo in his car and hit this thing. This thing, he thought, was a deer. He thought he had hit a deer. The girls who he hit, he thought was a deer. So, when he learned that these were girls, he was sad and he was struck that he would live in prison the rest of his life. These 3 girls died from this man thinking he had hit a deer. This is just one of the sad stories that happens from a day-to-day basis, from people not thinking while they're driving. They get behind the wheel while they're drinking. That is outrageous. You should not do that. You should call a taxi, call your parents. In conclusion, you have heard what getting in a motor vehicle will do to you if you are caught or cause a wreck. This can be very costly, harm others on the road, and hurt your family in numerous ways, just like Mariah's family. If I have done nothing today but preach to you about DWIs and driving while intoxicated, I hope I have persuaded you, or just a few of you, not to get behind the wheel while people are drinking and driving. It is a selfish act, and you can save many people by not doing it. You can walk, call a taxi or a family member to come get you. I not only beg you, but I'm asking you very nicely to not do it. Would you rather save a life or take a life?